Hello and welcome to this demonstration. I'm on the ETD homepage. It offers to let me sign up for an ETD account. I already have one, and so I'm going to log in. I fill in my login credentials and I click to log in. I've got a big mess here because I've been practicing uploading. But if you look down here in the lower left, it allows me to submit a new dissertation or thesis. On the first screen, it simply provides me some information. I read through that and I click Continue. Now, all of the choices that I'm making here are spelled out for you in the instructions on the LibGuide you should have been sent to from the graduate school. So all of these choices I'm showing you, most of them have been made for you. So on this first screen, I'm clicking Traditional Publishing. That's what you want, Traditional Publishing. I click Save and Continue. There's information and agreement to read regarding the traditional publishing. You can read through that and then click Accept. Now here's where you're filling in information about yourself. I am going to pretend I'm somebody else. I'm going to pretend I am Kelly Smith, and that is simply for demonstration purposes of this video. I have my information saved on a Word processed form, and so I'm going there and I'm copying it and pasting it in. You can have your information prepared ahead of time as well. Country, I am in the United States. And I'm copying my street address. There I am. And my city, Hilo, in the state of Hawaii. And what is my zip code? 96721. Okay, so I filled in my permanent email address, not my Trojan email address, because when I graduate, that's going to go away. I won't have access to that. So I'm filling in my permanent, non-Troy email address. Likewise, I'm filling in a permanent mailing address. At the bottom, it offers to do what I like to be contacted with future offers. No, I would not, so I don't check that. But I do click the Continue button. Okay, here's where it pays to have your information all set in another document, so you can just paste it in here. It's asking for the title of my dissertation, and I put that in there. And it's asking for my abstract, and I put that in there. It's asking me, would you like to enter an optional translated version of your title and or abstract to expand your potential researcher audience? In this case, I've selected no. It's asking me when my manuscript was completed. I'm going to go with 2020. And my degree date as 2020. My degree is, for this demonstration, Doctor of Philosophy. and from the business department. And now I'm going to select the categories under which the ProQuest database is going to index my dissertation. Now these are drop-down menus. You'll have a chance to look at these ahead of time. So you'll be able to look through and figure out what you want. In this case, I am going with sport management. There we go. For the primary one. And it's offering to let you do 2 more. So I'm going to go with public policy. And I am going with urban planning. Urban planning. Now it also lets me fill in up to 6 keywords. Again, these are words that someone searching the database might put in when they're doing their research, and they can help them to find your document. So I'm going to put in public funding, redevelopment, sport, stadium, facilities, and athletes. As you can tell, I've practiced on this several times before. That's why the information is there to fill in the form. Now I'm going to fill in my committee chair and just use the names for all these that are on the sign-off sheets that go with your degree. So you'll have these names already in your documentation. So I filled in a name for my chair, and then I'm going to fill in my committee members. Marla Carter, and fill them in however they are on your forms. So in this case, I'm putting a middle initial, Lenny C. Taylor, and finally I have Rupert Cornelius. So all this information I've gotten written out on a word processed form, and I'm just copying and pasting there for my convenience. I know what I'm doing ahead of time. I save and continue. Now, this is where I'm uploading my actual dissertation. You're going to use the same final file that you used for the document that you turned into Troy. So when you're done, and this is the one that you're going to upload. Let's see. Got a lot of files here. I am looking for Smith. There we go. Kelly Smith. And so there I've uploaded my dissertation. You can see how I've got it named. Last name first and the title of my dissertation. There's no required way that you have to have the file named. I just did it that way. And then it asks, do you have any copyright permission documents to submit? You might. You may have used an image or something in your dissertation that you received permission for, and you've got a separate document to provide that information. So you may, in fact, have permission documents. I do not, so I click No. And I push Save and Continue. You will not have any of these. You should not have any supplemental files to upload. So don't do anything here. Just save and continue. And you can see as we've gone along, it's checking off where I've been. If I needed to, I could go back and make adjustments. Now here's a very important section. It's called Notes to Administrator. And while it says optional there, for you, it's not optional. We need some information there. And when I say we, I mean Troy. Because what's going to happen is you're going to request hardbound editions of your dissertation, and they're going to be sent to Troy. But anything that you've ordered for yourself, that you want for yourself, we're going to ship those to you. There won't be any charge for that. But we want everything to come to the library in order that, as part of your graduation requirement, the library needs a hard copy. So we're going to get the one hard copy for the library. If your department, your program needs a copy, we'll get that to them. But then anything that you've ordered for yourself, we're going to need to mail that to you. And we need to know where to mail that to. The information that you put in previously, we don't see that. That's hidden, that's behind the scenes. That's for the ProQuest service. We don't see that. So you need to tell us information about you. So what I filled in here is my phone number, my permanent email address, not my Troy email address. And again, all this is fake because it's a demonstration. I filled in the mailing address. That's where Troy is going to mail your copies of your dissertation to. And then I've made a note about who gets what copies. I've said 1 copy for the library, 2 for me, meaning me the student, and none for the, it got cut off. None for the department. Okay. I must have exceeded my characters there, so make that a little shorter. So anyhow, you can fill in information that conveys to the library, to the ETD administrator, who's a Troy person, how to contact you and where to send your hardbound copies and how many copies do you get. We know the library is going to get 1 copy, and if your department is getting a copy, let us know that as well. I save and continue. Information about copyright. You may have discussed this previously with your chair on the LibGuide for dissertation uploading. There's some information provided about copyright. So you may or may not have registered your dissertation for copyright. Most likely you have not, but you may have, so you could check yes if you've done that. The thing that we're directing to you to do is no. Do not ask ProQuest to file for copyright for you. They want a fee to do that, and so you should not be doing that. So answer this question appropriately. The first one, have you previously registered your dissertation or thesis for copyright? But then for the second question, do you want ProQuest to do it for you? The answer is no. I save and continue. Now, here's the part where you will order your copies. The format to order is always this first one, hardcover, 8.5 by 11. To the right it says, how many copies do you want? For my demonstration, I'm going to put 2, but I don't know how many you are going to order. You're definitely going to order 1 for the library. If your program, if your department wants 1, you're going to order that as well. And then anything that you want for your personal use. So in this case, I'm ordering 1 copy for me as the student, and I'm ordering 1 copy for the library. So 2 copies total. I scroll down a little bit so we can see the bottom of the screen. I click Calculate Subtotal, and it tells me that 2 copies is going to cost $124. There's going to be tax on top of that. But I say that's right. So always this size, always 8.5 by 11 hardcover. However many copies you need, you'll determine that ahead of time. I click Continue with Order. Now here's where you have to be very careful. I'm going to fill in my phone number. I'm going to copy and paste that in there. But here you see the student name is already filled out. I've put in the phone number. but it is filling in the student mailing address. We don't want that, so I'm going to blank all that out, and I'm going to fill in the library address. So let me grab this out of my clipboard, and you will do the same exact thing. You'll leave your name on there, but you're going to send it to Troy University Library, and all this has been spelled out in the LibGuide. You don't have to remember it from the video. And there's the street address, and here comes the room in our building, and we are Troy, Alabama 36082. So again, I stripped out the student mailing address and I've replaced it with the library mailing address, because all of the hard copies that you're ordering, they're going to come to the library. The library is going to keep their copy. If the program or department needs a copy, we're going to send it over to them. And then we, at no charge to you, are going to mail you any copies that you've ordered. I click Save and Continue. It gives me a chance to look everything over. Did I get it right? So here's all the information. The degree, the title of the dissertation, the abstract, the categories and keywords. I could even peek at the PDF, make sure I've got the right one. When I'm sure about that, I can move on. Or if I need to go back on the left side menu, I can just click back and go to the right section and update it if I need to. Otherwise, I'm clicking Continue. And I'm getting ready to pay. It says, this is what I've ordered. 1, traditional publishing, no charge. What that is the electronic version of your dissertation is going to go into the database. So the traditional publishing is electronic publishing online, and there's no charge for that. Number 2, what hard copies are you ordering? In this case, I've ordered 2 of them. So one is $62, so my total is $124, and there's tax on top of that. There's no shipping. So they're showing me what they're going to bill me. I look down at the shipping address, and it's going to the student name, but it's going to the Troy University Library. If all of this is correct, I get ready to pay. And it wants me to fill in my information. So for today, I am Kelly Smith. I'm in the United States. And let's see, let me get my mailing address. So this is where my credit card information, they want this information. And I am in Hilo, Hawaii, and the zip code is 96721. There we go. So that's the billing information that goes with the credit card. Just for today, we're in demonstration mode, so I have a fake credit card number that the ProQuest company has given us to test the system out. That's what I'm doing. I'm in test mode, and they say the expiration date is 10/22. Pay now. I'm not really paying. I'm just making a demonstration. And there it is. That's the final page. It says that the billing is here and the shipping is to the library. So the library is going to get the physical copies. Again, the library is going to keep one copy. The department will get any copies that they need. And the other copies, as you have indicated in the notes to administrator, we are going to mail those to you, and there won't be any charge for us sending them to you. Thank you for watching this demonstration.